Hello and welcome to another Titanfall guide. I'm CimmerianKing and today our main focus will be on the Cloak tactical ability. So when active, this camouflages you, making you almost invisible in your surroundings. This makes it a lot easier to move around the map unseen and get into good vantage points without being spotted and taken out. Towards the bottom left part of the screen there is a small meter bar, and when you activate your cloak this meter bar begins to run down, and when it is depleted you become visible again. One thing to note is the ability completely disables when firing, so if you cloak and then immediately shoot afterwards, you will still have to wait for the bar to run all the way down and then recharge back up in order to be able to use it again. It's also a good idea to keep an eye on the meter bar when you activate your cloak, because this tells you when you will become visible again, so it can help you plan ahead and make sure you're not left out in the open and vulnerable when you decloak. You can still melee and throw as many grenades as you like without breaking the cloak, so feel free to do so. Enemy pilots should still find it fairly easy to spot you when your cloak is activated, so it is worth keeping a few things in mind, such as distance does play a key role in whether you'll be spotted or not. If you are very far away from your opponent, it is much less likely that they will spot you. So for those who enjoy using the sniper rifles, perhaps a good option would be to use the cloak, the sniper rifle, get yourself up to a nice vantage point and use the cloak in order to set up your shots. You could even couple this with maybe a satchel charge or an arc mine to fortify the area so no one's able to sneak up on you. Using the cloak with the sniper rifle is highly dependent on what type of mode you're playing and what map you're playing on, however it can be very effective at times. It's also harder for them to see you if you're in a dark area. One of the hidden bonuses to the cloak is that it makes you completely immune to the active radar pulse, so if an enemy uses the active radar pulse you will not show up while your cloak is active, which is very good for sneaking up on hard points or getting close to the flag or things like that. Grunts, turrets and auto titans will pretty much ignore you as long as your cloak is active, so it becomes very effective for taking these out, perhaps if you want to chain melee a bunch of grunts or hack a turret or something like that. It's much safer to be cloaked than not. The Cloak ability is most effective against enemy titans, as it's incredibly hard for a titan to see a cloaked opponent. This allows you a huge advantage against enemy titans when moving around the map, shooting from a vantage point, getting into good positions. You can even run after a titan undetected in order to rodeo them. Another use for your cloak is when you eject from your titan, engage the cloak and it makes it much harder for people to see you and take you out after you've ejected.
Pilot, your Titan will be ready in 2 minutes.
Take it down. Atlas down.
I find the cloak most effective when playing the hardpoint, domination, capture the flag and last titan standing game modes. On hardpoint it's very effective for capping the point and remaining undetected whilst doing so. You can even approach points undetected.
25%.
Whilst playing capture the flag, the cloak is very well suited to a hard defense style of gameplay. Now, you can play aggressively. The cloak does help you approach the enemy flag, but as soon as you grab that flag, the entire enemy team is going to know where you are, so cloaked or not, they know your position and they know your location and they'll be able to take you out. However, if working as a team, you could perhaps get to the enemy flag, allow a friend to take the flag, and you can cloak, allowing you to follow your teammate while the enemy focuses on the flag carrier. You'll be able to remain undetected and take any enemies out that approach. And while playing Last Titan Standing, sadly it does happen sometimes that your Titan will be destroyed, so considering that the cloak is most effective against Titans, after your Titan has been destroyed, you could cloak and therefore still take on the Titans and help your team a lot better than, say, perhaps with the stim ability, where you would still be seen and get picked off a lot easier. Due to the fact that the cloak is so much more effective against Titans than other enemy pilots, I often find it useful to create 2 custom loadout slots, exactly the same, but one with the stim ability and one with the cloak ability, and I'll use the stim ability for the beginning portion of the game where no Titans really appear, and then as soon as Titans start appearing, I'll switch my loadout and change to the cloak ability to help fight those Titans. So I hope that's given you a few ideas for using the cloak. And next time we'll be discussing the stim ability. I've been CimmerianKing, and thanks for watching.